Hey everybody. So in this video, what I want to cover is, to be honest with you, I struggle with sharing the story and not laughing or laughing about this person because I learned a very valuable lesson about our feelings from the most unexpected person if I've ever met someone that you could never take serious, this is this one guy, but he taught me such a prolific lesson. And the idea of following your feelings, oh my God, he's talking about feelings. Your feelings are very important, okay? Because a lot of the times it influences the things that we do on a regular basis. Just hear me out. Just think about it. How many times in a single day are you saying the word feelings? How many times? I don't feel like waking up. I don't feel like eating breakfast. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like not watching TV. I just want to sit down. I don't feel like going for a walk. I don't feel like not playing video games. I don't feel good. I feel sick. I'm sure I would make an argument for $10, 10 fake dollars, that it's probably at least top 3 most commonly used word in our vocabulary, regardless of your profession, regardless of anything, all aspects. That is a word that we use often. Therefore, in my mind, I think that we are intuitive with our feelings, but we don't know how to process it, okay? And essentially, this is what I'm trying to say. I learned a lesson a few years ago about our feelings. And I have this thing I'm going to show you in a little bit, that this thing, I'm going to turn it around. There's like a thing drawn here. This is about like 8 years old. And for some reason, I use it as like a bucket around here, but there's something drawn on it that I learned from this interaction I'm going to share with you. But the idea is that I believe if you are struggling to make healthy decisions, going to the gym, getting a massage, going for a walk, eating better, you can't just force yourself to do that stuff if you are not feeling good. Essentially, I have personally given up in trying to make people healthy or pushing people to a healthier quality of life. What I am into is guiding people to behavioral changes. Now, a few years ago, when I say years ago, I'm talking a decade ago. Well, this is like before I became a practitioner, I was working a retail job. And for some reason, my entire life, I kind of gravitate towards personalities where like my closest friends kind of, especially in work settings, I gravitate towards the awkward people. And I had a coworker who was the definition of like the most socially awkward, shy, reserved, cringy, like all these things. It was like packaged into one person, and this was that guy. And nobody wanted to talk to this guy. Like he came across as a non-likable person. For some reason, he became like my best friend in this corporate setting, in the place where I was working at. And like, I don't know, the story gets kind of dark, but he had bad habits, okay? Drugs, I don't know, drugs, gambling, sex, blah, 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 everything, all of that. But he would always, every single time I saw him, he would say, bro, I'm just trying to feel better. I'm trying to feel better. I'm gambling, I want to feel better. Life's not good, I'm trying to feel better. All these different things. Goosebumps even thinking about this guy. I am just trying to feel better. It was in that moment that I realized that, yeah, like he's trying to feel better, but like because he's chasing his feelings, for the longest time I thought that like approaching ourselves but thinking about our feelings at the forefront, that's a negative thing, because if we just kind of go off of our feelings, we can kind of do like negative things, right? Like drugs. I want to feel better, so he did drugs. I want to feel better, so he would have these like other addictions. And it just went on, right? So for the longest time in my, I don't know, my young life, I'm still kind of young, I thought that like our feelings were a bad thing. And the crazy thing is that in this culture pushes this idea that forget about your feelings. You're feeling tired, just forget about it. Go to work. You're feeling tired? Okay, you're tired, but pull an all-nighter. You will feel good because you're working hard and because of your accomplishments and because you're getting time and a half. But the crazy thing is, although I saw my friend chasing this like weird relationship with his feelings and wanting to feel better, but like all his behavioral tendencies were like negative traits, this culture doesn't make it easier. And what I mean by that is that the average person is, in my opinion, I cannot unsee this. The average person is overwhelmed, burnt out, stressed, exhausted, all of that. But we're kind of just told to like, don't focus on those things. You're feeling tired? It's okay. Everybody else is tired, so you being tired is normal. That's, I cannot unsee that. Now, my friend, one day he says, hey, let me take you out for lunch. So I get into this guy's car and he's like, okay, before we go get food, I need to go to the gas station. So he goes to the gas station and we get to the gas station and the girl that he had been dating at the time, so we pull up into this gas station and we're like, he's happy, right? He's happy, we get to the gas station, but the car right in front, he saw his girlfriend with another guy and she was pumping gas. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna go crazy. He's like an awkward person to begin with. I don't know what this guy is capable of. Like, I don't know. So he gets out of the car and he's confronting her, he's yelling at her and all this and that. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, I need to get out of this car. He's gonna do something crazy. And before I could do anything, he's coming back to the car. He's in the car. His car doesn't have gas. And he drives off and he's passing every single red light in pure frustration. He's not stopping for stop signs. The cars are coming, but he's just zipping through and he's driving in the direction of where we were getting food. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this guy he's already not doing good. And now this happens, this betrayal, all of the stuff that he's gonna have to deal with. In my mind, I knew this was like the tipping point for this guy. Okay, this guy was already like emotionally unstable. So we get to the restaurant and he's not eating. I'm just sitting there and I'm trying to like talk him through this stuff. Fast forward, all right? I don't even think we got the food. I don't even think we got the food, but we go back to work, we clock in, and the day continues, right? Like I think it was like 2 days later, the manager had spoken to me, and the manager, he or she says, Chris, like, do you know what happened with what's his face? Do you know what happened to him? I'm like, no, what? She's like, he's in the hospital. He tried to commit suicide. I'm like, I wasn't even like, I don't know, like something about it didn't shock me, but at the same, like I was concerned. I'm like, he tried to commit suicide. Is he alive? They're like, yeah, he didn't successfully commit suicide, but he's in the hospital. Do you know anything about it? I'm like, what do I know? I'm friends with the guy. Like, he's not going to confess to me that he's trying to commit suicide. But I did know that whatever happened at the gas station, I knew that he was chasing this idea of like feeling better, but like through like drugs, through like bad relationships, through like addiction, like all these different things. I'm trying to feel better. That is what I took away from that moment. And even when I spoke to him after, I'm like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing trying to commit suicide? And he's like, yeah, I failed. I didn't do it 100%, but I need to feel better. Like he would just keep saying that. Fast forward, okay? Where is this going? Fast forward, a few years later, me and this guy kind of parted ways, just business friends, I guess. That story kind of stuck with me, and I was working at a clinic where there was this like psychologist working there, and I had told her the same story, and I said, what about our feelings is dangerous, right? Like our feeling, isn't Isn't our feelings something that we acknowledge on a regular basis? But like, why is it a bad thing to chase our feelings? And she said to me something along the lines of, your feelings, if you look at your emotions, like your mental health as an ocean, your feelings are the things at the top of the ocean. It's the waves that come and go. They're the fastest. They're fleeting. They come and go. They're fleeting emotions, fleeting sensations. Sorry, that's what she said. But below that is our mood. Those move a little bit slower. They carry on throughout the day, just like that next current in the ocean. It's not as fast as the superficial current, but below that is our mood, and below that is our emotions. At the deep of who we are, at the very bottom, our emotions influence our mood, and our mood influences how we feel. So the reason why, my takeaway, the reason why the average person struggles with this idea of our feelings is because it is the low-hanging fruit. It is the thing that's most accessible. So essentially, when we're talking about our feelings, we have two options. We can either approach our feelings with negative behavior, or we can develop a way, a system, a predictable way of feeling good, but in a way that's positive for ourselves. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I actually wrote it down. This was my way of trying to interpret what this psychologist had told me. There's your feelings, there's your mood, and your emotions. As we kind of associate and become more aware of what we're going through, we descend and process stuff. But the first thing that we have to learn to process is how we feel. You guys, the reason why I have spent the last 2 years working on this thing called the Feel Good Method is because of that. Because I have realized, by default, the human brain, the mind, goes to what's easy. Marketing takes advantage of that. They will sell you things that are fast, convenient, shortcuts, little efforts. Okay? Those things tend to be negative ways of feeling good. The harsh reality, and this is where like you either commit to the idea, you either get it or you don't. When we talk about feeling good in a way that's constructive and builds us up, that typically requires more effort, more time. We have to sacrifice. It's maybe financially going to cost us more. But avoiding and not talking about and disregarding how we feel is not the play that you should be making. It is essential to learn how to feel good in a way that's positive. But if we only focus on our feelings, by default, we tend to do the negative. I hope that makes sense. Take that as a soundbite right there. That sounds pretty cool. This is my takeaway for you. I've realized I have completely given up on helping people be healthy because I realized that's not the play. That's not the strategy that's most effective. What I am into at this point is influencing someone's behavior so that they make better decisions. How do you influence someone's behavior? You start with making somebody feel good. Because the truth is, when you're not feeling good, we make shittier decisions. When you're not feeling good, we tend to not have energy. When you're not feeling good, we tend to be a pessimistic version of us. And I'll tell you this one last thing before I hop off here. When I was a teenager, I think like in my teenage years, I think high school, I saw a Snickers commercial. In like the 10 minutes that I'm explaining this to you, I saw a Snickers commercial when I was younger that in like 30 seconds explained what I am trying to explain to you like the most effective way possible. There's a commercial of this lady that is like, she had a skateboard and she was like trying to swipe at these like young kids, and they were all dodging her, and they're like, "Hey Brad, relax, Brad." This old lady named Brad, and she's getting angry and she's throwing stuff, and then someone says, "Hey, relax, relax, relax. Eat this." So then this old lady, Brad, takes this thing and eats it, and then she shakes it off and she's like, okay, so you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I was behaving like that. Cuts off and it says, "You're not yourself. when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Snickers commercial perfectly encapsulated this message here. You're not yourself, and you're not going to feel good when you're stressed out. If you are going to try to influence someone's behavior so that they're making healthier decisions, we have to influence them by making them feel better. They will behave differently. They will start to make better decisions. And that commercial, honestly, was a pivoting moment that I realized we need to master this idea and not avoid the idea of feeling better, but to systemize it, to have predictable outcome so that we can have somebody feel better in a way that's productive, that is actually supporting their healthy decisions in life. You guys, I hope that makes sense. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to that guy. We kind of parted ways, and that's the end of the story. I'm sure he's doing fine. If he watches this video, you can shoot me a message. And that's it. The feel-good method. More importantly, what can you do tonight to feel better as soon as possible? I created a stress survey. Within 3 minutes, answer a few questions, and you can figure out your stress type, because for everybody responds to stress differently. For everybody, stress will show up differently. And if you can learn how stress is showing up for you, then you can take immediate action. And I have a few bonuses included if you complete the survey. Follow the link down below. Shoot me a message. I'll send you the link. Let me know what you think.